hey, so it's only 3:30 this time as opposed to 4:30 last night. So I said last night that I think it would either be tonight or tomorrow that I'd be ready to do this again. I think the answer is tomorrow. Let me move this thing off to the side. Woo! It's pretty crazy just how it moves on its own, or the illusion thereof. So today I spent most of the day trying to resolve that thing that I had. Where was it? In Software Evolution Type 1. This one right here. And I was trying to phrase this correctly. And I got it. So I added a second slide. Essentially, there's a claim that software used to be free and it used to be open source, and then it was, I don't know, Microsoft's open letter to hobbyists in 75 or something like that, or somehow there was, I said before, like some kind of great Valhalla that we've fallen from grace from. It was a Garden of Eden story. And I say, well, whenever you hear Garden of Eden, Great Valhalla stories, you have to say, well, that sounds like a load of bullshit. Like it just falls into one of the tropes. It'd be like saying, oh, I don't know, some what is that? Any type of biblical story, that gets repurposed. I was trying to think of that, the prodigal son narrative, right? Uh, and yeah, you just have to say, all right, well, that's probably nonsense. Anyway, so what I ended up doing was is that this one looks like a conspiracy theory slide, and really, I thought a lot about how I want to present this, and I think this is exactly what I want to do. Hold on, my phone's talking to me. At this time, it's usually something. Oh, is that? Oh, that was genuinely somebody overseas talking to me. You know, I just got out of my car, and sometimes my car likes to talk to me and say, "Hey, your car's unlocked." Anyway, um, I thought a lot about what I wanted to do with this thing, and I know it looks like I'm some kind of nutcase, and I am. It's slide number 43, and so I think that by this time I could already establish my scholarly bona fides as saying, I'm serious and this isn't just a bunch of bullshit, and that I'm not just some kind of wacko that's just, like some kind of, I don't know. I mean, it looks like the kind of shit that you'd see in movies, but really, the reality is that this could be, well, okay, so I guess if you are just watching this and you don't know who I am or anything that I've ever done, um, I created this 12,000 word article a while back about, some people say that the internet was designed to survive a nuclear attack, which is bunk. And so I go into it in great detail of where it started, all of the books that started in, who were the authors. I do a cross reference of exactly, like, word for word analysis of where this is. I contacted a bunch of the people. You can see these narratives and how they developed, and you can follow a timeline. And then I look at people that were trying to debunk that, and then I have multiple audio and video content. I have about 100 quotations. I sent, I don't know, dozens of emails with the original authors. I have this chart right down here where I have different kind of folkloric narrative styles where I compare the different approaches and I date them, then I have word counts and I do that type of analysis. I have different evidence-supported stories from different people that are still alive that I was able to contact for that. And then I also did a sentiment and a linguistic analysis of Reddit dump to try to see whether people were trying to go to or away from the story points, etc. And then I looked at, and I said, well, maybe that's true, maybe that's false. I look at that data to see if that's true. And then I have all the citations, and then I have, more things down here on the original people. And then I have all the citations and notes, and I have lists of all the emails there. And this includes just things like, what's it? Where is that? Here. So I went to like UCLA. Some of these things weren't online, so then I had to like actually look at like old records in order to get these things, and I spent a good amount of time on this, and this is all over again something that's usually thrown away, saying, well, the internet was started because we were trying to defend against a nuclear attack, and you could say, and it's a story that you can say in like 3 to 4 seconds, but it's bullshit. And so this is the kind of scholarship that I'm really sort of big on. And so people saying, oh, at one point all software used to be free. It's bullshit. And so I want to give that the same treatment that I just showed you, where it's actually like this very drawn out evidence-based thing. Because when I said the first one was bullshit, I'm going up against people that are like, they have PhDs, they're tenured professors, they like write books for legitimate outfits, these are legitimate people. And when you're calling BS on a bunch of people at once, that I guess if there was a hierarchy that would definitely outrank you, you got to come with the evidence. And for this one, you get like Bruce Perens from Open Sources 1999. You get some pretty legitimate people, Matt Welsh from open source movement, open source thought, and Linux in general, claim this. And it's the same thing. It's bullshit. The thing is that software used to be bundled with hardware in the same way that Microsoft bundled IE with Windows, and in the same way that they got sued for bundling Windows with the cost of a laptop around the early 2000s. So it's that kind of free. If you consider the Windows that you get with a laptop to be free or Internet Explorer to be free, then sure. But that's usually not what people mean by free software. So when they say, oh, it used to be free, well, yeah, but they're just liberally using the word free. And that's also a word that they decide to be very pedantic about in other use cases. And so I say, guys, fuck you. There's also evidence that, the software for sale industry in 1968 was at least, at this point, over $1 billion. There's also articles here and that's $1968, articles about, these software companies organizing against not-for-profits, against people trying to give stuff away. And so, and that they're the much larger part of the industry. So that was a big part. What I need to be able to do is stick with the script here, because clearly this has hit a nerve. And I need to not go off on a tangent. I think it's important to establish it. And I think it's also important because I want to assuage people who have done the superficial readings, or or they've read the Linux popular books, and are so sure of how they think this world is, this Garden of Eden story. I mean, even Stephen Levy in Hackers from 1984 or something. And I think highly of that book. He falls into the same trap. I mean, and okay, sure, maybe in the MIT Artificial Intelligence Lab. Okay, fine. Software was free. Fine. But it was also a billion-dollar industry. I mean, both things can be true simultaneous, right? I don't know. Music can be free because you can sit in a room with a bunch of people playing a guitar, and it can also not be free because there's record stores everywhere and a music industry out there. They're not exclusionary facts, but I can't just ignore contemporaneous evidence from the industry in favor of anecdotal oral history from a few people that don't know the business side. I can't do that. Okay, let's see, what else have I done? Was that it? Might have been. I spent 12 hours making damn sure that I was correct here. I think that's it for this one. I mean, that's really the reality, right? Is that each of these statements here that I make, sometimes it's a typo, but oh yeah, I did find out the author of that. Each statement I make here, I look up. Like I do a significant amount of research, right? Like these lines, I made sure these are quantifiably justifiable. It says conceptual, not quantitative, but it's not wrong. Especially this triangle right here. I made sure that triangle was real. I know nobody else really cares, but I want to make sure I'm not adding to the bullshit. And it's kind of a waste of time. Because, really respect. I don't know if I put this on the record, but even people like Richard Stallman, he fudges the history of GNU. Like all the time, he rewrites it, like substantially. You can just go and watch a bunch of videos of him throughout the 90s, and he will modify it in order to fit whatever context is necessary. And he just permutes it. And I have lots of respect for the man. Of course, he's a GPL, right? But, it's, all these people are a bit fabulous. Whether it is in their own heads or whether it's intentional, I don't know. But my kind of scrutiny is maybe it's not even, maybe there's no benefit to it, I do it because I think it's virtuous to be accurate, but maybe there's no purpose. I have this idea that you can only find truth going forward if you are honest with yourself about the past. I guess it's a core belief that I've always had. So I get pissed off when I see people, intentionally doing things wrong in order to service some kind of political narrative, whatever the politics are. Even politics that I completely agree with. If they somehow polish the history in order to make those politics more salient, it pisses me the fuck off. Because I think the historical record is clear, and you can be truthful and still come to the same conclusion. So why lie? You don't have to, ignore the complexities or fabricate your own set of facts. And be like saying, I don't know. Okay, I'll stop at 20. But it'd be like saying, I don't know, let's say Michael Jordan was, a really good basketball player. And then you say, and he was 11 feet high, and he scored 1,000 points every game. You don't have to exaggerate or fabricate things. I'm not a big sports fan, but you can just go over his impressive factual record, and then people say, oh yes, that's one of the finest basketball athletes that there ever was. You don't have to make shit up. You don't have to say that he flew or anything like that. Yeah. Anyway, so I guess what I need to do is I did do some writing. I did do that. That's what got me in on this quest, if you will. Right. The 4P slide. I was going to do that too. Okay. I said that was going to be my last slide, but I'm wrong. There's one more. I got to do the P slide. And then I can get the stuff done. P slide. Then I'm going to kill the BSD math slide. And I don't know. See, part of the reason I want to keep this one in here is I'm getting to a level of academic rigor, and I'm trying to ease into it so that when I get to a point like, I don't know, let's say here. Oh God. People are comfortable with it. This is a much higher level of citations and much heavier stuff than you see in most of these talks. I fixed this. So I found other names. Turns out that there was some more stuff to put in here, which is pretty cool. I made it a bit bigger too. That was good. This is still here. I need to fix that. I forget what I was going to fix it with. I had an idea. Oh, this is where the P's go. That's where the P's go. Right. What else? What are we at? 19 minutes. Said it's up 20. Let's see. Is there a way to see changes? What does this thing do? Show comments. I have no idea how you see. Oh, changes. Changes. Oh God. Oh, show changes. You can do that. Oh, see, the last touched at 3 o'clock. Yeah, so no. I didn't do much. I think I just like bolded something. Like that was really it. Yeah, I didn't do much. Okay. Most of it was that slide, not research. Anyway, hopefully by tomorrow I'll have something better. We'll see. If not, I'm starting to get to the point where I should be canceling every other obligation until this is done. Yeah, I might have to. Write all expository text. That was supposed to be done yesterday. New slides if needed. I did. See, I'm not doing what I said I'd do in that order. Close out any research. Oh, I've done that actually. I've closed out my research. I think I've finished number 2. Probably not in the order that I expected, but I think that's done. Then new slides if needed. Yeah, sure. And then reading the books after that. So I think that's all I need to do. All right, well, I can do it. All right, you know, my tech shirt is currently for the day. They were doing some kind of battery replacement for electrical charging. I don't even know if they're still around. Back in the day, I did a bunch of stuff with electric vehicles. Currently, I don't think so. I think they're gone. Battery. Let me see. Currently. Yeah, it's like a little lightning bolt symbol. And I don't think so. I think they're gone. Startup. Oh my god, because you gotta do verbatim. It's saying, oh, currently, you mean current startups. No, you dumb fuck. Oh, here. Found it. No, it's a different one. Or maybe it's not. Maybe it's the same one. It's about the same. Yeah. Spark Charge. Oh, did they rename themselves? Currently.app. It no longer exists. Spark Charge. And 2023. They also haven't done anything. Monroe and Associates. Yeah, it's the same people. I know Monroe. And the Linktree? Head to our website. Sure, why not? Procures operate EV charging. Yeah, no, this is the same company. Spark Charge, what they're called now. Yeah. Yeah, that's them. I see they've just changed their name, or they were acquired. Whatevs. Yeah, see? They charge it, they have like a level 3 charger like plugged into a van. And then you can call them up, and it's like a portable car wash, but you can just like have somebody drive up and then do an L3 charge in your car and then drive off. Yeah. Anyway. All right. That's it.